What's up, y'all? It's Stevie. About to react to this Albert and Preach vid. It's titled Stevie Knight Called Us Out, Got Exposed Instead. Oh, Lord. They still beefing? Okay. Well, I don't think they were initially beefing. They just had that debate, but I guess now it's a beef. I don't know what's happening, but let's watch.
We're doing another Stevie Knight video, and I know that half of you are like,
I could care less. I could care less about
Stevie Knight. He has a titled video called Damn, Is ABBA Fake?
I cannot say that I saw this coming. ABBA ain't no stranger to
How he fake?
doing the extra, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna just summarize this first point, but I'll link the video below so you guys can go watch it. For those of you who didn't watch the debate, consider yourself lucky. Here's a recap.
I feel like it felt like, I didn't feel like that. I feel like, do you feel like? I feel like I could care less about why you feel the way you feel. I'm not a fucking machine. They need to be controlled. They need to be decapitated to feel heard. I feel like everybody's gonna feel differently. There is emotion tied to it, bro. I'm a human being. Some children are born in fucked up circumstances, bro. It is what it is. So logically, it is what it is. Oh, that's cap.
That's cap? Did you Google it? Did you Google it?
I don't need to Google it. Somebody Google it in the chat. I don't even need to look up the stat. Every motherfucker engaged in evil can burn.
During our debate, there was a discussion about school, food lunches, starvation, food insecurity. Stevie and Kirk were constantly making this point that kids are not starving, so we don't need these free lunches in school. There's other ways for the kids to get food. Okay, that's pretty much the general gist of it. I try to explain that not everyone has good parents. Food stamps are not always accessible. 7-year-old can't apply for food stamps. Steve's like, listen, it's not a real problem. Kids are not emaciated, dying on the side of the street. And he harps on the fact that during the debate, Stevie himself was talking about starvation, third world starvation, kids, skinny bones, big belly, dying,
Dog, this isn't fucking people. It's not a famish going on. People are not dying because
no, they're not dying, but
famish.
I was talking about that. You were talking about a different problem that's less serious, and it's kind of disingenuous of you, Abba, to misrepresent me.
We can't be switching words out now, man. Food insecurity is entirely different than starving. That was the question posed in that debate with Kirk.
Now here's what
I don't think he meant that.
I shouldn't use the word starvation when I was talking.
Yeah.
Even though us in colloquial terms, yo, I'm starving today, I need to eat. In a discussion, you should define terms. That's my fault.
You should also give yourself a 3 out of 10.
For the debate performance?
Yes.
Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. What I don't like is this very bad faith interpretation on his behalf. When him and Kirk argue against school lunches, then talking about starvation, these programs were never implemented to stop famine. They were not put in place so that kids were about to die on the side of the street and hey, here's a little sandwich at lunchtime. They were put in place to combat malnutrition because a lot of folks who didn't have access to food would show up, not eat, and their performance levels at school were bad. They couldn't pay attention. That's what the program's about. I personally think it's incredibly bad faith to come to a debate about a topic, about a policy, and argue against something that's never intended for. And throughout the debate with him too, I mentioned it. If you just Google it, it's so many kids today here in America, you could look up the statistics that have malnutrition, that have food scarcity, that have all these problems. It stunts their growth. It fucks them up in terms of their academic success. If we were talking about kids dying on the side of the street, why the would I be talking about the fact that they won't get a good grade, and who cares? If we were talking about something that was terminal, I think I'd probably be like, how do we save these kids from dying?
I understand what you're trying to say. What I don't understand.
He knew what you meant. He playing stupid.
And it's why the f are we debating school lunches?
Sure.
Like you're trying to make a whole point about F them kids.
It just seemed like, what's the point in this exactly? And obviously, this is a serious issue. But what are we getting from watching them debate it? It's just, I don't know. It seemed pointless. That's why I didn't react to it in the first place. I'm just like, I don't care about what they talking about. Not I don't care about kids, obviously. It's not what I'm saying. I didn't care about them two debating and listening to them debate. It's like, what am I getting out of this?
The shitty parents, I get it, dog. This life is fucking hard, dog. And some children are born in tough circumstances, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah, but no school lunches. What? Why do you go against that?
What?
That's the debate.
Y'all don't want to give that to kids, but prisoners get it, military members get it, a whole bunch of different adults get it. Also, aren't we a first world country? Just because we're not dealing with third world country problems, don't we solve them all the time? It's like saying, we don't need to make our roads better because we don't have dirt roads like third world country.
Show me a single child in America going hungry. Doesn't exist.
That's just not true.
We have a child obesity problem, not a child starvation problem in this country.
I don't understand this thing where it's like it has to be one or the other. You can have rich and poor people.
Exactly.
You can have educated people and Stevie Mac. Both of those things can all coexist.
Americans don't know what starving is. We don't know what starving is, man. But, you know, I see what he's doing here. He's playing semantics.
Okay, that's 20% of the children in America. What about the other 80? So we're going to use this as an argument to be like, oh, yeah, fuck everybody else. Look at the 20% who are obese. That's the real problem. It's like, but it's only a fifth of children, so.
Moving the goalpost with this conversation.
They're overeating. Okay, good for them. They have enough food. I don't say good, but obviously they have enough food. Oh, cool. What about these other kids over here? Obviously not saying 80% are starving, but it's like he just wants to completely just erase that. It's like, what? That don't make sense.
Bro.
I love how you accused me of playing semantics.
What
He spent 13 minutes talking about starvation versus food insecurity and not getting enough meals.
That's comedy gold right there.
If you talk like that about kids not having access to food, is it any wonder why people think you guys are monsters?
Bro, here we go, bro. He taking me out of context again. See, I ain't shit.
Every time someone's too stupid to enunciate their own point, they always sound taken out of context. No, you just don't know how to communicate. Maybe if you got a school lunch every time in the 3rd grade, you'd be able to read, speak, and think past a 4th grade level. Maybe. I think you needed them school lunches, Stevie. I was taken out of context. After a while, is it people taking you out of context or you don't know how to communicate?
Hello.
I'm just asking.
I get tired of hearing that.
He's a big time fencer. He won't take a stance. The other things like, I don't care. I ain't pro-life. I ain't pro-choice. I don't care if the kids get the food, but I'm a capitalist. I'm against government handouts. I don't want the government to come save the world. I don't care if they pass a program. It happens. It's like probably anti-abortion. Am I right?
No, I don't know. I could care less. I'm not pro. I'm not anti. I respect this thing. I don't agree with it. But,
But you want the government to get involved and stop abortions.
I never said. I don't give a fuck about what anybody does with abortion.
But did you say it's a bigger problem?
Yes, there's a bigger problem, but I didn't give a solution to it. I know it's a problem. I never said what I'm gonna do about it. I could care less. Like, it is what it is, dog. It's life is fucking hard, dog. And
I couldn't
some
care
children
less.
are born in fucked up circumstances, bro.
You want this?
I never said want. I said these resources are available to them.
But that's what your solution is, right? You're
That's
fine.
not my solution.
Bro, what is your opinion? I don't have any solutions, bro. I'm not saying what my solution is. I'm saying this solution exists.
This whole argument.
Like, I genuinely,
point of
guys,
debating
maybe
that?
I needed the school lunches in school. Maybe I just don't get what this guy
The
said.
whole debate was just
Goofy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree with you with that, but I don't disagree with Kirk either.
Huh? I'm both anti-gun and pro-gun. You know what I'm saying? I could care less, bro. I could care less.
I don't know. I could care less. I could care less. I could care less. I could care less about.
I'm like, I couldn't care less, right? Steve, you deserve those school lunches. I'm sorry it wasn't given to you.
I could care less.
And here's the thing that's funny.
Probably better than
Remember
any
when they
school lunch I've ever had. Damn. Oh, obviously, they brought this from home. This is very cute to pack your kids lunch and something like this. Wow. Must be nice.
The school lunches, I'm sorry it wasn't given to you.
I could care less.
And here's the thing that's funny. Remember when he said he's not pro-choice or pro-life? But he refers to it as killing babies.
Abortions and food insecurity. Why are we comparing killed babies to babies that are alive?
You're probably anti-abortion, am I right?
No, I don't know. I could care less.
No, I don't
I
know.
respect his stance. I'm not pro, I'm not anti. I respect his stance. I don't agree with it, of course. Killed babies. I don't give a fuck about what anybody does with abortion.
What? You couldn't care less about what they do with abortion. But you also think that they're killing babies. Would you guys understand how much of a fence sitter and sociopathic person you have to be to really have that worldview? I really think that, I think abortion is murder. But
I could care less.
like the pro-choice people don't think the fetus is a child. That's why they're justified in their position.
Yeah.
And the pro-life people think it is. So that's he's saying it is a baby, and I don't care if they die.
I could care
But
less.
he did a more recent video, one that you haven't seen. Because he got a lot of backlash after he put out this video. His own fans were turning on him like, yo, Stevie, you're bugging. You were being hyper-emotional.
The
comment section
the comments was
flaming him. Titled, Am I Sellout to Black People?
Bootlicker, coon, coke, and sellout as a result.
If you got asked that question, you probably are.
Kirk situation, bro, these labels have been flying at your boy. Black man with more of a conservative take on things, like thinking black people need to be a monolith. like all black people need to look the same and feel the same and be.
Nobody is saying that, but people can also call out when you are exhibiting coon-like behavior. People can call that out. Nobody's saying you got to be like these other black people over here. Do what you want. Coon all you like, but people are going to point out that you're a coon. I don't know this nigga to say he's a coon. I'm just going based on, you know, what he's saying.
Things the same.
Sure, but that's not the case right now. That's not the reason why. I understand what you're saying, but that's not what's happening.
Black man with more of a conservative take, black culture is going to despise.
This idea that black folks are somehow incredibly liberal, and that's not true. A lot of social issues relating to transness, gay marriage. There's no group that's more against it than black folks in the USA. The highest religious group in the USA is also black folks by percentage. I think people believe that either because they're never around black folks or know nothing about them. They think that how people vote maps on one-to-one with what their values are, and that's just not true.
Regardless of what it is that I'm saying, for people to view me and judge me.
And yeah, he's totally right, and it definitely depends on where you live, because I definitely encountered very different black people when I lived in Texas versus the black people that I'm around now in California. The black people in Texas were more conservative, but they were not coons. Like, I don't think being conservative automatically makes you a coon. And I'm speaking of the people that I was around that I was cool with. They definitely had conservative opinions about things. And they probably did vote for Trump because Trump was running when I was down there. So, you know, whatever. I don't judge people based on that. Do what the fuck you want. Feel how you want. I don't care. But when you start, you know, making these anti-black comments, it's like, all right, now I'm side-eyeing you. Because you can be conservative without being anti-black. Although, there's a lot of evidence that a lot of black people who are conservative, they kind of lean towards being anti-black. But it is possible not to be anti-black and to be conservative as a black person. I have seen it with my own two eyes. I've seen pro-black people be more conservative, but it's not that common from what I've seen.
On what I'm saying,
but yeah, I don't like this argument that he's trying to make it seem like, oh, just because I'm conservative, that means that I'm a coon, and it's like, not necessarily.
Based on my skin tone.
They call you a sellout because of the kind of shit you produce. You're not even presenting their arguments of why they think you're a sellout. I want you guys to go to his channel, Night Talk. Go to the search button. Not my feelings. Facts. Search the word black. See how many videos this guy makes shitting on
See,
black
this
people.
is the problem. This is what makes you a coon. It's not because you are conservative. Black people have to stop being victims. These are very racist white talking points. This makes black women look bad. Black people don't want to hear this. Kevin Gates keeping it real. In the thumbnail said niggas are the problem.
How many videos this guy makes shitting on black people and black culture.
Dear black people, you suck. Black people are sick of black people. Black fatigue. Oh my God. I've seen some videos about that on like TikTok randomly. They're hella racist. This whole black fatigue term, racist as fuck.
No, I didn't take the time to.
I hate black women. Act black for $500. My biggest struggles as a black man today.
Click on a lot of these videos just to make sure. Or let's look at some of these titles. I hate black people. And he agrees with them for a lot of video. Black people are sick of black people. Dear black people, you suck. Black men don't date black women. Black people don't want to hear this. Only weak black men date white women. You know, shout out to, because he's dating a white woman. He's got a complex. He's a little bit, insecure about that.
Surprise,
He does get
surprise.
comments though, so I get it. Black Lives Matter 2.0. I hate black women. Black people have to stop being victims. She told white people to stay out of the Black Panther. Okay, so it's still critiquing a black person on behalf of white people. This makes black women look so bad. And you gotta appreciate the hypocrisy. They'll be like, oh my God, these people think about race way too much.
We'll
And
talk
they
about
make
it.
that much amount of content about black people. Now
Yeah.
flip it. Put in the word white. You will not find a single video Even though there's mass shootings, even though just recently there was a guy who ran up on that church and blasted a bunch of people, a MAGA guy, he hasn't covered it. Will he ever talk about any of these topics that plague certain communities? No. Now, you might say, but asymmetry is not necessarily a bad thing. And I agree. Sometimes you might have an asymmetry in the kind of things you make because you have more proximity to something. Fair. Do you do so in a nuanced way? Other communities have this, that. No, you don't contextualize it. You just go like, they're bad, they're bad, they're bad. And then let's go to your audience. Why are they there? Why do you have so many people being like, fuck yeah, Stevie, you're based? Stevie tried one time. Stevie made a video about Nick Fuentes talking crazy about black folks.
Well, I guess Nick Fuentes, he's on another racist tangent, so. But with that, I'm in agreement with a lot of things that he said outside of the generalization of black folk, because your boy got some ghetto fatigue.
That video is one of his most disliked videos. And he hasn't talked about the criticism he got in that video. He hasn't talked about the backlash. He didn't make a follow-up on that one. His audience was shitting on him en masse. Why? Because they're like, yo, Nick Fuentes is based. He's right about what he's saying. You don't have to believe me. Go look at Night Talk channel and see the kind of content he produces. And then you come tell me why people might think you a sellout. Maybe they don't want you to manufacture a narrative that only the black community seems to have problems, because that's all you ever talk about. That's something that's always interesting to me, is like black conservatives will often get very defensive when they get called out and stuff. But it's like, sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about what you don't say. It's a lack of fairness. Imagine being in a family, you and your siblings all cause problems, and your parent only comes after you to scold you. At some point, you'd be like, shit, I know I'm fucking up, but like, bro and sis fucking up too.
That's
he
what
might lie now, he might say, oh, disproportionate. Like, no, there's some crimes that even when you go proportionate, white people commit more. If you want to look at political violence, which you seem to care so much about since you made 20 videos on your
And I think that's very interesting.
People
like to use that statistic, not the one that he showed, but they try to be like, oh, well, there are more black people that are in jail for your population versus white people who are in jail. But it's like, then that goes to a deeper problem. That goes into black people being falsely accused of certain crimes. You're not keeping that in mind. A lot of cops also go to these non-white areas looking for people of color to lock up. Like, they go there like waiting for them to do some shit and like paying way more attention to them. So of course they're getting locked up at higher numbers. So that's not considered. But that statistic is very important that he just showed.
Political violence, which you seem to care so much about since you made 20 videos on your daddy Kirk, that's almost exclusively.
Not your daddy Kirk.
But if I'm wrong, Stevie, prove it. Why don't you spend the next year covering the other stuff? Let's see how well your channel going through. Let's see them dislikes. Let's see how your audience that you think are there for you and not because you're a bootlicker, let's see how long they last. And if I'm wrong, you know what up, Stevie? I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll give you 50 grand. If you spend a year doing that kind of content, because there's evil, right? It's about evil.
It should be a good versus evil thing.
I'll put 50 grand in escrow and I'll watch. And you show me the analytics. You show me the audience you cultivated. I don't want to talk about feelings. I want to see facts.
The thing that happened is that you probably just found the reason why he's fan-sitting. Because he doesn't want to necessarily upset the black, and he also doesn't necessarily want to upset the whites. So he's like, man, me no say, bro, I don't know. What you think?
Got no say.
That's what it is. And now he's getting the flag, and he's saying that it's really black people shitting on him. But I've seen in the comments, it's not just black people.
Absolutely.
It's people that even agree with Kirk. Mm-hmm. It's even people that agree with Kirk and it's like, yo, I agree with Kirk, but you're crazy on that debate. Because no matter on what side you are, yo, not caring about kids is evil. And you should receive whatever you're supposed to receive because you're evil, right? Anyway, it's your words. Never mind.
Every motherfucker engaged in evil can burn. It is war because ain't no talking to them, ain't nothing you say to them. They need to be controlled. They need to be exiled, decapitated, whatever your cup of tea is, bro. There's no talking, bro.
It's like you are the extremist. You don't see yourself that way because everyone thinks they're the good and moral one. And Stevie thinks this is personal. Sometimes I hate you. I don't give a fuck about you. But we as content creators have influence. And I'm just so sick of content creators and all this like, yo, get your money, bro. Get your bag. Yeah, you know what? I probably make a couple extra mils just grifting too. I think it's okay to have higher standards of people who make this kind of money. But maybe I'm just virtue signaling. I'm moral high ground. I don't even know how it's moral high ground. I don't know what the fuck y'all niggas grew up on. I grew up on like superhero shows and like basic shit like Great Responsibility. Is that moral high ground? Was Uncle Ben?
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Is Uncle Ben moral high ground? Well, I have a moral high ground. Why? Because I think a kid who don't have a meal should have a lunch. Oh, you just appeal to emotion. Y'all realize that if Jesus existed today and met some of these people in the comment section, he'd be like, let the children first be fed. They need not go away. You give them something to eat. Appeal to emotions. You're just trying to manipulate us into paying for welfare. No, I'm saying that children first should be fed. Why are you, as one of my followers, disagreeing with that? Stop taking me out of context. You're manufacturing a narrative, and I could care less. I could care less. I could care less. And also, the audience, you guys should demand more. This whole like, yo, get your buddy, bro, get your bag. When he's advocating for shit that harms so many people.
That's against you, and that's harms people.
Yeah, get your bag. I hate the fact that now as a society, all we worship is money.
That is fine.
Yes.
I know. There you go. That's my little rant.
That's a good rant.
It's
a good rant.
Oh, that's cat.
That's cat? Did you Google it?
I don't need to Google. Somebody Google it in the chat. Google.
Facts?
No, I don't have to do that. I just know. Oh, okay, you think you know everything. When people just know and they don't have to Google, they don't have to check the facts, guess what? There's no talking to them. Yeah. They don't have to check the facts. Oh, I know. How? I just know. How am I going to debate that?
I don't know shit.
How am I going to go against, how am I going to talk to you with common sense? Like, oh yeah, look at this fact,
like,
look at this fact. Now look it, and I'm presenting you the facts.
But people are going to believe what they want to believe. People are going to hear what they want to hear. Once people have it made up in their mind of how you are or how whomever is, there's nothing you can tell them or show them that's going to make them feel otherwise. One of the most difficult things to do is to change somebody's mind on anything, right? Even if you give them facts. Even facts to change your mind, bro. But them facts ain't facting because I feel strongly about whatever this is, right? Which also is an indication of stupidity, right? Low intelligence, where you are given information that contradicts.
He talking about himself,
which should make you feel differently, man. But when you're so emotionally attached to this, regardless of what anybody says, it don't matter.
What?
Isn't Stevie describing himself?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't even.
No, that's why he gotta be trolling. Ain't no fucking way. Nah, ain't no way. He was literally describing himself to the T. He's a troll. He has to be. He has to be pandering to these racist white people. He's doing the same thing that the Hodgkins was doing. Same thing they admitted to doing because he wants to, continue to get the views and the engagement from these racist white people because apparently they watch a lot of YouTube. They watch a lot of content apparently. So it pays to pander to them. And it's really sad when people sell themselves out just for a check. But there you have it. This is their, back and forth with him, I guess. Maybe they will continue to beef. Who knows? We'll see what happens with them. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. And I'll see you on the next time. Bye.